Okay, today I wanted to come in the page and share the content clarity framework. I want to train you on the first part of it today. It's actually a 7-part series, but to break it down into bite-sized pieces makes it much easier to complete. So when you complete this, you're going to have everything that you'll ever need for all the content that you'll ever need to post. No more looking at a blank page wondering what in the world to say. So the very first step, now this template is assuming that you have already decided what membership to create. And if you're following my advice, you're creating a membership for other people who are trying to flip a house. Because that way you're creating it around the content that you're already doing, around your lifestyle. You're not going to have to carve out time to actually create the content. All you've got to do on the job site, you handle a problem with a contractor, you pick up your phone, you step aside, you record a quick video explaining what the problem was, how you solved it, and how you kept the flip moving forward. That's content right there and didn't take you any time to think about it or to record it. And if you do it right then while it's happening, it's fresh in your mind. You don't have to try to remember exactly what happened and exactly how you solved it and exactly what the outcome was. They can see it live while you're doing it. So hopefully you're creating a membership around flipping houses. Now you can specialize that, you can niche it down, and I've got some ideas here. Like one is running the numbers for a flip, like how to evaluate a house before you purchase it, making sure it's a good deal and you have a good profit margin. The next one, it could be on just staying on budget. Now, what I'm saying here is you make your entire membership around staying on budget. Or you can make the membership over the entire process of flipping a house. It's totally up to you. I'm just trying to give you some ideas. Other things flippers have to deal with are dealing with contractors. You can make that your topic. Or it could be keeping the flip in order, because you can't have certain contractors there before other ones have completed their tasks. You want to make sure that you understand the order of a flip. Staying on schedule. How to design the house for resale to get the maximum amount of money. Working with realtors. And finding money for flips. All of those things can be the source of a membership. So if you're thinking, oh, if everybody is making a membership on flipping houses, then how am I going to carve out my niche? Well, one thing I always like to think of is, yes, McDonald's makes hamburgers. They're not the only restaurant that makes hamburgers. Just about every fast food chain, except for Chick-fil-A, Bojangles, has a hamburger. So just because they have hamburgers doesn't mean you can't also. You just make it a little bit different, make your own spin on it. Just be your authentic self and create your own membership around that. So now that you know what type of membership you're going to have, now you need to decide who you're going to serve. Who is your ideal client? Who would be perfect for your membership that you can help the most? This is your top client. Like for me, it's people that have flipped several houses, but they're still not sure that they have the financial support to do another one. They realize they're just one flip away from a financial crisis, one deal falling through from a financial crisis. That's the top. That's my ideal client. Now, you also need to have a person that has the minimum requirements to join your membership. So think of it as, the ceiling and the floor in order to join it. Picture like a triangle. And then you've got people at the very top. That's for me, people that have flipped several houses but are still having financial problems because there's no money after the deal closes. That's it. You got that money and then nothing is coming in. You have to reinvest the money you just got from that first close to do the next flip. And there's no payday again until you finish that flip and close on the next one. So I'm trying to help solve that problem by creating memberships. And it's not adding work to you because you're doing it alongside the thing that you're already doing. So now you know your ideal client, and now you know the minimum requirements of a person to join the group. Like for me, that's someone who's decided that they want to flip a house. They've got everything lined up. They have some people lined up to work with them. They've got their money. but they still are trying to find that perfect house. They haven't pulled the trigger yet. And to me, that's just a confidence thing. They just need help getting over the hump to actually purchase that first house. And I know that my membership could help them with that because it builds that safety net underneath. It takes the pressure off. And I'm a firm believer that you're making clearer, better decisions when you are flipping houses with a safety net. So the content clarity framework helps you decide your ideal client and also helps you determine the minimum requirements that a person needs to have in order to join your membership. And once that's decided, the next step is to decide what transformation is your membership going to give a person. Now, I know when I first heard that, I thought, oh my goodness, that's a huge undertaking. How in the world do you even decide what transformation you're going to give them? You start feeling that that fear creeps in that I'm not worthy to teach someone else. That like you're an imposter syndrome. That's what I was trying to think of. The imposter syndrome starts coming out in you. But I have a much easier way to do that. Listen, just sit down and write down where your ideal client is right now. All the things that are holding them back. Like they're scared to purchase their first flip. That's a huge negative. They keep watching flipping and remodeling shows, but they still are not flipping their own house. That again is a huge negative. They keep talking to family or friends about, I'm going to flip a house, but they don't do it. Another huge negative. They're searching foreclosures for that perfect property, but they don't buy one. They have no confidence in their ability to make money. So now you've got a list of things that are all negative that they're going to have when they're coming into your membership. So now all you've got to do is turn those negatives into positives. So how do you take that and become a success story? Like the first one I said was they're scared to purchase their first flip. Well, after they've joined your membership, now they have purchased their first flip. So you just simply take take the negative and turn it into a positive. The people that were watching flipping and remodeling shows, now they watch those shows with pride because they're one of them. They are a flipper because they've purchased their first house. So now they're watching it totally differently. They're watching it to learn things instead of watching it out of fear because they couldn't purchase their first house. And the same way with people that are talking nonstop that they're going to flip a house, but they haven't done it yet. Now they've impressed their family and their friends because they did. They purchased their first house and they are doing it. The people that were searching foreclosures, turn that into a positive and say they no longer have to search the listings because they're living their dreams. They have purchased their first flip thanks to your membership. And then the person that had no confidence in their ability to earn money, now they are part of a membership that has a group of people that are excited to support them and help them grow on their journey. So that's how you create the transformation that you're going to provide your members. And it really is as simple as that. Just write down a list of all the negatives that people have now that are keeping them from success. And then turn those into success. What is the positive of, what's the exact opposite of what you made your list out of? Very simple. So now you have the transformation. You have your ideal client. Well, first, you know the membership you're going to create. You have your ideal client. You have the minimum requirements to join your membership. And now you have the transformation that joining your membership is going to give these people. So now you have to create your framework that creates that transformation. Now here's where I'm going to show you mine. This is what mine is. Now again, I told you that I'm helping house flippers that have flipped several houses, but they still don't have financial security. So my ideal client, the first goal that they're going to achieve is they're going to create their first membership. And then the next step is you have to show, so the first thing you're doing is you're naming the goal that they got to achieve. Now I'm recommending 3 to 4 goals, because anything more than that is just going to be overwhelming for someone. Like, I'm sure you felt overwhelmed when I said that this template has 7 parts. Now, once you create the part that I'm finishing with today, you have enough material to get started with your content. The rest of this template is just going to add to that. It's going to be different ways to record the exact same content. So don't get overwhelmed. But again, when you're creating the goals, the first step is, how many goals do you have in your process? Your membership process that's going to bring people success, that transformation that we just discussed. For me, like I said, it's 4 steps for me. The first one is to create a membership. The second one is to create the brand that attracts the members. And the third step is to grow the membership, where you actually have your brand created, you're running ads, and you've created the membership. And then the fourth goal is to retain the members that you've worked so hard to get, and to keep growing the membership. That's the fourth goal, and that's it. I have 4 goals. So now, the next step, I've named all 4 of my goals. Like I said, the first goal is to create a membership. And then the next step is, what service are you going to give them? What either template, what system, what structure, what item are you going to give them that's going to help them achieve that? Like for me, I've got the membership structure, how to build a membership. And then the next step is, what problem does that solve? So for me, it's the possibility of reoccurring income and support. So the problem they had before was lack of support. There's no safety net in their flips. And how do they know when they've achieved it? So they know they've achieved this when they know what type of membership they're going to serve. They know who they're going to serve. That's when they know they have achieved that first goal. So now to recap it again, in case you're taking notes on this, which I hope you are, the first one is to decide how many steps your system is going to have. And then the second step is to name the goal that they have to achieve. The third step is, what system or template are you going to give them in order to help them achieve the goal that you just named. And then the fourth step is to name the problem that solves. You're naming the problem that goal is going to solve. And the fifth step is, how do your members know when they have achieved that goal? Because if you don't have goals set up in your membership, you're going to start losing people. Not really from day one, but you're going to be losing people consistently. Because it doesn't matter if you have library of trainings in your membership. You lose people because of overwhelm and because they don't feel like they're making progress. So if you have little goals set up all throughout your membership where they can achieve a step, and you celebrate that within your membership, you're going to be golden. So that's my first goal. So they've created a membership. They did that with the membership structure that I provided them. And the problem it solves is the flippers are now going to be able to have a safety net under their flip. And they know they've achieved this goal when they know what type of membership they're going to create and exactly who it's going to serve. Now they can move on to goal 2. Goal 2 is where they're creating their brand to attract the members. That's the name of the goal 2. And the system that I'm going to give them in order to do that is my YouTube and Facebook ads structure that's going to help them gain subscribers and followers. And then the problem that this solves is, it helps them find people that are interested in their topic. And they know they have hit this goal. They know they've achieved this goal when they're having 100 messenger conversations in a week. Now again, that sounds overwhelming, but it's just messenger conversations where you're simply asking them a simple question, which I teach you how to use AI to create this. I teach you how to set this up where the first question is automatically asked to them, and if they respond to that first question, then you can hit them up with the next one. So And again, it's only 100 conversations a week through Messenger. It's not actually phone calls or anything like that. And you can do them a lot quicker than you think. So once you're having 100 conversations a week, now you've achieved goal 2. Now it's time to move to goal 3. Goal 3 is where we're creating the brand of trust, because people are not going to join your membership until they trust you and they know that you have something that's going to solve their problems, and they realize that this is going to work for them. And we achieve that through a nurture sequence, and that's through CRM and email and SMS follow-up, and it's all automated. That's the system I'm going to teach my members how to use. And the problem that solves is it keeps possible members interested until they join the membership. Because you've got someone there, they understand, they know who you are, they understand that you have the solution for them, but again, they may feel like that it's not right for them. That's what the rest of this content clarity framework shows you, and why you need to record different types of videos in order to solve people's problems and bust their false beliefs. So you know that you've achieved this goal when the membership is growing month after month. And then you're on to the 4th goal. I mean, technically that's it. You've got your membership built. So really it's 3 steps to totally building a membership. But my 4th step is how to retain those members, which is ultimately the best part of this. Because you've worked so hard, you spent money to gain these people, and now you want to be sure to keep them. And also on goal 3, it's not just the CRM and email and SMS. It's also through a $5 a day ad strategy. That's how you're building your followers. And you actually started that in goal 2. Using $5 a day ads on YouTube and Facebook to gain subscribers and followers. And then you continue to stay in front of them through retargeting ads and through email and SMS. To stay in front of them, continue serving them, continue solving their problems, and continue showing that you have the solution to their biggest problem until they join your membership. So goal 4, to name it, it's to retain members and to grow the group. And how I help them do that is the membership success survey. There's Q&As and there's referrals. And that's a template that I'm giving people to teach them how to retain their members. And the problem this solves is you stop membership churn. So you stop turnover within your membership. And you know you've achieved this when members are succeeding. Your members have success and they're advancing to the next level of your membership, whatever the next level is in your project. Like for me, I've got the Flip Foundation. That's a $40 a month program. Or if they want the advanced program, which is more access to me, more detailed trainings, then they go to the Real Estate Growth Program. That's $147 a month. So, I've succeeded when people from the Flip Foundation are advancing to my Real Estate Growth Program. That's what I mean. You create more programs within your group, so you've got a step ladder for them. Once they've achieved everything they need to achieve at this level, you don't want to lose them. You want to continue to provide them service, and you create another type of membership that they can go with you and get more exposure to you, more help. Also, in the Real Estate Growth Program, I'm providing them with all their automations. They don't have to do that at all. I'm writing their emails for them. And they get the live training. So there's a lot more in that program than there is in the first level program. So that's an example of what the goals can be. And again, you got the goal, you got the system that you're going to give them in order to achieve that goal. Then you got what problem that goal solves. And then you got how do they know they've achieved that goal. And that's it. And that's all for part 1. So pat yourself on the back. And I hope you take time to go do this yourself. Create the first part of the Content Clarity Framework, because next Saturday I'm going to come on and I'm going to teach part 2. So you guessed it, this is a 7-part series. So each week I'm going to come on and I'm going to teach you another part of this framework until you have the entire thing completed. and then you never have to create content again because you've got it all done for you. Now, I also want you to know that all of these trainings are normally done inside the Flip and Build community group. This is the live page that anybody can join, but the actual group, there's a few questions that you need to answer to make sure that that is a right fit for you. So just go to the Flip and Build community group, request to join, and then I'll send you the few simple questions to answer. If you're a good fit and I think that we can help you in that group, then I'm going to welcome you in that group, and then you get access to all of the additional trainings, the private trainings that I do inside that group. Hope you got benefit today. Thank you so much for watching, and you can watch this anytime. This is going to stay on the Facebook page. Thanks a lot. I'll see you next Saturday. Have a good week.